Hello and welcome. If you're just joining us, I'm hoping that you're on the DSTV app. That is channel 247. It is Northwood against Hilton College. These are the two first 11s that we're looking forward to seeing. And if you were with us earlier on the schools app, you will know that the under 14A game was a really well fought 2-all draw, and some really excellent hockey was played by either side. So we're looking forward to more of the same for this big match. It'll be Hilton playing from right to left on your screens. You can see them lined up already in the black jerseys, and there's the Northwood High School first 11. They've just broken up from their last huddle, and they will be captained by number 10 Brent van der Linde. And it isn't that our graphics guy is drunk, it is that you have to go through a number of hoops in order to be given a number to play for Northwood. Now, I've got an Olympian alongside me in Wade Payton. And Wade, do you know the story of how do you get your number?
Hi Andy. Yes, I do. It's actually a Northwood tradition of recent years. The boys have to earn 15 caps before they get given their first team caps. Yeah, their number.
And obviously, in these days of COVID, getting 15 caps is not easy.
No, it might take them a few years.
Yes, first game back, this for many. And here are Northwood on the ball with an early attack down the right-hand side, picked up there by their captain, Brent van der Linde, and he's muscled off the ball. So have to get used straight away to a different pace of game here. Having just done the under 14As, we now go into the first teams, and both of these sides playing at pace. So as I mentioned, it is Hilton in the all black playing from right to left on your screens, and Northwood in the blue trim and mostly white kit. And they are the home side. If you're watching us on the DSTV app, we are on the east coast of South Africa, just up the road from Moses Mabhida and Kings Park stadiums, and a wonderful facility here. Lovely astro. Having watched the under 14As on it, nothing at all wrong with this surface, and lots right with it as well. So here go Hilton with the first real attack for them. Picked up by Chebby, and there's the first shot.
Andy Young, David Chebby is definitely a player to watch in this Hilton team. I was around at the top 10 schools tournament in Durban last weekend, hosted by Clifton, and I didn't get to see too much of the Hilton game, all the Hilton games, but his name always seems to pop up after post-Hilton matches from opposition coaches. So I think he is definitely one to watch this morning.
First penalty corner goes the way of Hilton. Jared Pike will be the injector. And lots of options. The stopper is going to be David Kitsoff, wearing number 8. First penalty corner of the game. And we're in the 3rd minute. Let's see if Pike can get the basics here. That's a nicely done injection. Good save. Nothing wrong with the shot at all. Maybe a little bit straight. Here's Pike getting it inside, and that's well blocked.
Yeah, a keeper of Toby's quality, it really needs to be. You need to be testing him in those bottom corners, straight at him. I think he'll manage that quite easily, as shown.
So long corner, and that's well blocked and taken away by Josh Cottrell. Another turnover ball though, and Hilton looking dangerous down this right-hand side. Gets to the byline, drags it back. That'll be penalty corner number 2. So concerted attack from the visitors. And they do look a good side. They look a big side as well.
Andy, they are a big side. Traditionally at schoolboy hockey, you find the smaller guys tend to go the hockey way and the bigger guys tend to go the rugby way, but it looks like Hilton have some good numbers up there.
So the masks are being gathered. As much protective equipment as you can get. If you've ever wanted to watch your life flash before your eyes, then be a hockey defender.
Absolutely.
So we had a drag flick from the first penalty corner. Let's see what the variation is this time. Well, it's a variation that's gone horribly wrong, so Northwood have a chance to clear their lines and perhaps go straight onto the attack. It's cut out at the back for Hilton there. Now Hilton on the ball through Christopher Watt. Yeah, an unattended player down this left side is Den Bakker. Good ball in and well cut out. Taken quickly by Chevy. Ball seeming to stick to the end of his stick as he came into the D, but Northwood have cleared the danger this time.
Does seem a bit frantic from Northwood's outletting point of view at the moment. I think they just need to slow down a little bit. I know they must be feeling a hell of a lot of pressure from the Hilton boys, but if they just slow down and roll the outside channels, I just think they'll have a lot more success in getting out of the Hilton's press.
Let's come off the foot. So early ball down the right hand side is by Vishen Govender. Govender trying to fight his way to the byline, but turnover. Umdar sending it out. And here's a lad with some pace. It's David Kitsoff who gets the ball across there, but couldn't be controlled by Björn Liebenberg. So early pressure really being piled on Northwood in this game. We're in the 6th minute. It's 0-0, but we've already had a couple of penalty corners for Hilton. That's well done in defence. Oh, he's given it away in a very dangerous area. Looking for a stick on the end of that, doesn't come. Thank you very much to Jonty Robinson for the coffee. You'll be hearing his voice on one of the later games. Jonty, of course, doesn't need a microphone. This is Umdar. Yeah, dispossessed, and now a chance to take it upfield from Brent van der Linde. Van der Linde gets it back. Trying to lift that one over the defender, and strong defence from Northwood. Whoops-a-daisy, you don't want that, do you? He's just hit the heel of his own player, Adam Cheslett.
I think just going back again, Andy, that's what we spoke about. Northwood, just take your time a bit. They seem to be rushing things and making very silly errors in a time where they really need to be holding on to the ball more.
Oops-a-daisy, there's another error from Cheslett. Good skills here. Can he get? Yes, he can get the shot in. That was really powerful from Dylan Pratt. And another opportunity here. Great save. And in the end, it's the defender Adam Cheslett who gets it away because Toby Dwyer had been drawn out. Still Hilton come forward. Now here's a shot. Oh, great save. And the second save as well. That's brilliant stuff. David Chevy with the first shot. And then the follow-up was a stick save. And at the moment, Toby Dwyer is the busiest player on the field. In goal.
Absolutely. 2 back-to-back saves. There we see on the replay. Save a shot, save. Another second save on the stick.
And there was a man waiting on the post there to just turn it in. There's
one.
Another great block. Hilton fighting their way, but they haven't managed to win the penalty corner there. It's a chance for Northwood to escape. Well, we're in the 9th minute now, and it really has been one-way traffic. Northwood need to spend some time on the ball. Here's Josh Cottrell for Northwood. Threaded through, that's a good pass. But good block, and then turned over again. Now Northwood, can they make something of this? There's a little bit of opportunity down the right-hand side. This is Josh Cottrell. Gets it back. Lovely skills from him. The keeper comes, and Hilton survive. So that's about the best chance that Northwood have had in these first 10 minutes. Well cut out by the Northwood defender. Just a little bit of breathing space now for the home side. Spending a bit more time in the opposition half after being really under the pump in the first 8 minutes. Hilton coming forward through Kitsoff. That's well cut out.
That was heading to Tebe on the right-hand side, I think. Fantastic interception by the Northwood defender.
And that ball has gone past the far post. There was a man on that post, Matt Bray. He couldn't get a stick on it. But it looks very much as if South African hockey is in good hands again. Some real talent out there.
Absolutely, Andy. I'm not sure the speed of the first team games with this pace when I was back at school.
Great skills there. Can they get the shot in? It's gone wide.
I think it's a corner, Andy. I think the ball's come off up off the keeper, deemed dangerous by umpire. It looks like Gareth Mason, and Northwood have a short corner.
Yep, thank you for that. First short corner for Northwood. Let's see what they've got in their arsenal. I know the under 14As had one short corner in the match and scored from it. And they do pride themselves on their set pieces here. So everybody's ready in the Hilton goal. Just a little bit laborious getting it in. Good save in the end from Josh Goodwin.
Yeah, just a wide injection there. Not going anywhere near the stopper makes it quite difficult for you to execute a well-rehearsed penalty corner.
So Hilton survive. What are we playing in first teams now? 30 minutes aside or 25?
I'm not sure if the schools are playing quarters. They're playing chuckers. So 15-minute chuckers.
Okay. Because they didn't for the under 14s.
They didn't, yeah.
No.
So I'm not too sure. Then I think it could be around 25, 30 minutes, Andy.
Keep watching and we'll find out. That ball has gone too far in front of Jake Carstens. So Northwood have, I won't say they've weathered the storm, but they're just starting to spend a bit more time in possession of the ball. David Chebby putting in the pressure for Hilton. He looks like a real hard worker. That's a great early ball. Oh, here's an opportunity. It's gone wide. Oh, and he's absolutely mad as a snake, is Carl Gibson, because I think that was pretty close to an open goal. Let's have a look again. Chebby with the early ball. Okay, we'll try and show it to you at a later time. That's a great shot. Good save from Toby Dwyer. The snapshot coming in at pace. That'll be a long corner for Hilton. Oh, it's gone all the way through. Reverse stick goal. There's the opener, and it comes from Matt Bray, wearing the number 10 shirt. And coming in the 14th minute of this match, just as I was saying that Northwood had weathered the storm a little bit, in goes the first goal. So how can Northwood come back from that? Number 10 is their captain, Brent van der Linde. He's on the ball now. Quickly swept across. And that'll be a Northwood ball. Trying to get the ball into meaningful area of the field. Not happening.
Yeah, umpires deemed that the attacker. Here's the goal replay. Great finish on his backhand. He's moved the keeper to the right hand side and hit the ball to the opposite corner. Very difficult for Toby to stop that.
Well, the parents aren't allowed here today, but I hope they've saved that on video, because that will certainly go in the highlights. Right, so we have confirmation that we're playing chukkers. That is the end of the first chukker, and Northwood will be a little bit disappointed that they got so close to the break and then gave up the goal.
Yeah, Andy, sometimes these games you see them with a bit of one-way traffic, and in that quarter could have been completely different for Northwood had they taken their single penalty corner opportunity. And then you're looking at a 1-1 game going into the chukker. You can forget that first 15 and worry about how you're going to build momentum in your second chukker.
But I must say, first time I've seen this Hilton side, they look a very well drilled unit. They've got a couple of real stars in Shebby and Kitsoff, and the goal scorer Matt Bray showing some real skills with the reverse stick goal. And as for Northwood, well, they've certainly been under pressure. And I would say that Toby Dwyer in their goal has really kept them in the game.
Yeah, Toby's been phenomenal there. I think he's made over 10 saves in that first chukker, and to only concede one is fantastic. I saw Sean Baker, coach of the Northwood side, just handing out what looks to be like some stern instructions to his troops. I know Sean quite well, Maritzburg College old boy, part of Mark Bechet's regime, and Sean is a tough man, and he's definitely giving the boys some stern advice. And watch this space. I think the second chukker we might see a little bit of a different Northwood outfit.
Well, you mentioned Mike Bechet and Maritzburg College. Mike, of course, up at Jeppy now, isn't he? Been there for a few years, but still cited by so many people as a key influence at school and later in life.
Yeah, I was quite fortunate to work under Mike in my post-matric year at Maritzburg College in 2004, and yeah, I only had 1 year under Mr. Bechet, and yeah, it was an incredibly memorable year for me, and one which helped shape my international career, actually.
Now, talking of which, of course, you went to the 2012 Olympics.
I did, Andy. I went to the 2012 Olympics in London. Wow, an incredible experience, eh? Something which sportsmen dream of. It was really phenomenal.
And the dream is alive for our national side now, and they are trying to raise money to get to Tokyo. So if you're listening and you do have something that you can put the way of the national side, please do so, because they need everything they can get. There's no real help coming through from government in terms of funding. They've got to pretty much pay their own way to the Olympics. Well, I guess in many ways, Wade, that's always been the case, but it's particularly difficult when you've got to go as far as Japan.
Yeah, and yeah, I think SASCOC actually cover your the team's expenses to get to the Olympics, and once you're there, your accommodation in the village. But it's just it's the preparation that becomes incredibly important for these teams. If you're wanting to compete at that level, your preparation needs to be up there. And you see some of these international teams traveling around the world weekly now, and we just aren't able to. The national side struggle to get together within our provinces because of budget. So yeah, if anyone is out listening out there and has some spare pocket money lying around, I know they have a crowdfunding page set up. It's well kept in there by Northwood.
That has just gone wide. That was very nearly the equaliser from Northwood. Straight after the start of the second chukker. Now here's Shebby. He's dispossessed in midfield, and Northwood looking to put a bit of pace on the ball, but it's turnover. They've got a couple of options here. That's one of them, and that is goal number 2. And it's brilliantly done by Dylan Pratt. Lovely early ball through, just got enough stick on it to get it past the keeper, and there was nobody on the line for Northwood. It is 2-0, and we've had 17 minutes.
Yeah, I'd like to see it on the replay. I think a lot of Hilton's go forward is coming through their right-hand side from, it looks like young Daniel Den Bakker on the right midfield. Looks to be creating a couple of problems for Northwood on the left-hand side there.
So whatever Sean Baker had to say, I'm afraid it didn't work. And that snap goal has put Hilton into a really powerful position now in this first half. You really feel that Northwood have got to score next in this game to have any chance.
Absolutely.
It's well cut out. Not too much movement off the ball, and Hilton turn it over fairly easily. Shebby is making a good run down the left-hand side. Pratt is dispossessed in midfield, and Northwood coming forward well.
Young Tanner Capel on the ball there for Northwood, number 7, receiving and again in the midfield. Actually coaches older brother Slater in the varsity college men's first team.
That's a good wide ball, starting to open up. Well, he was looking to link up with Govender down the right-hand side, but incomplete pass. That's the other thing, of course, that's missing from our screens is varsity hockey that we've had going for the last 10 years, and unfortunately that has been a victim of COVID.
It's great turnover by Tsebe.
Yeah, he's been operating down the left. Now here he is popping up on the right and causing all sorts of havoc. Great ball in, and that was very nearly goal number 2 for Dylan Pratt, who was standing in a really powerful position goal side. Free hit will be taken by Kitsoff. That's an interesting pass into Shebby. And Shebby showing how powerful he is on the ball. There's not much of him, but you can't push him off it. So those overlapping runs from midfield are really causing havoc for the Northwood defence.
You can see the pressure from Hilton on their press. One pass from the Northwood centre back to the outside half, and Hilton are almost rush pressing them, trying to force the error as quickly as they can so they can create the turnover.
Hilton threading passes together, finding space in midfield. This is Matt Bray. He gets the pass away to Kitsoff. Kitsoff looking for a penalty corner there with the reverse stick inside the D. He gets it back. And then that's good defence from Northwood. Govender picks it up on the right-hand side. just running past the ball.
Just seems, sorry Andy, just seems to be a lot of space in the midfield areas. Hilton have got a lot of time to turn and go forward, but here come Northwood.
Govender gets it across the face of goal. Hilton doing well to clear. Look how quickly they go from defence to attack. Matt Bray coming down this left-hand side. Oh, they're standing off him. In the end, that's well played by Adam Cheslett, but they gave him just a little bit too much space. Long corner for Hilton will be taken by Christopher Watt. And that's well cut out. Now, Northwood don't have a runner up front. They've got to build from the back. This is Govender. Number 12 is Mitchell Jagger. Now there's a chance from Baku Baku, and well cleared. Whistle's gone the way of Hilton, I think.
Yeah, lifted off the Hilton stick. Ball not moved 5 by Captain Brett van der
before
Linde.
taking it inside.
Yeah.
It's basics. It's a coach killer.
It is, Andy.
And once again, Hilton look to charge out. It's the pace with which they move the ball into the opposition territory that is so difficult to defend. Hilton leading by 2-0, and we're halfway through the second chukker. Chevy did well to get that ball back after making an unexpected error. Well, we're sat here at Northwood School watching the first teams of Hilton and Northwood, and we're in winter now, and we're sat here sweating. This is why people love Durban at this time of year. They don't really have a winter. Just up the road where I farm, it's nice and cold in the Midlands, but not here. Now Hilton taking it forward. Yes, good strike there, but Carl Gibson unable to keep the ball down. Good run from Gibson to get it inside the D. Baku Baku is dispossessed. Through the middle they go. That's a great ball. Oh, just too far out in front of Josh Cottrell on the right wing. Wasn't a bad idea. We've got just over 5 minutes left in the first half. Hilton scoring twice either side of the quarter break. And as I mentioned how hot it is, a chilled bottle of water arrives. Thank you very much. Oh, that's a good block. That was Brent van der Linde, the skipper.
I was going to say a bit earlier, Brent on the ball looks very dangerous for the Northwood side. I'd like to see him on the ball a bit more. He seems to be looking forward, which is what you need in these times of when your team is under pressure. You still need to be looking forward. If you keep going back into defensive mode, I think things could only get worse for the Northwood side.
Yeah, it needs somebody to make a stand, make something happen. That's a good ball to Baku Baku, young man from the Eastern Cape who's just joined the school. Here he is again, trying to open things up from that left-hand side. That'll be a free hit.
Much better play there from the Northwood boys. Just keeping it small, playing a mini game within a bigger game. I think that's the way back into this fixture for the Northwood side, Andy. Just keep it small. Don't look for too many long passes. Try and keep a bit more possession. Feel a bit more comfortable on the ball. Find yourselves 1 or 2 penalty corners, and you know this is a funny game.
Boxed up in the corner, could manage to free himself, and so that'll be turnover ball for Hilton. If you're watching on the DSTV app 247, welcome. I know it's a long day of school sport. How lucky we are. Here's a chance for Northwood. Free hit just outside the D. Quickly available. Can he get the shot on target? Yes, he can, and the goal is scored. And I think that's Adam Cheslett who's got it. Finding the top left corner. Absolutely brilliant stuff. In fact, it is Josh Cottrell who scores. Number 5. Yep. Apologies for selling the dummy to our graphics department there. And it was Josh Cottrell in the 27th minute who's got the goal that has brought Northwood back into the game. Just what this game needed.
Yeah, I love that. I love that Josh has found himself in some space there, and he's gone for the shot on target. He's absolutely smoked it.
Look at those aerial skills from Northwood going down the left-hand side. It's one of the relatively new things in the game. You're allowed to bounce the ball on your stick. Tends to cause havoc.
Yeah, it does tend to cause some havoc amongst and for the defenders. Often very difficult to manage and judge where the ball is going next. But the youth these days, Andy, some of the things they're doing with their aerial skills are mind-blowing.
It's the skateboard generation. Here's the replay of the goal then. Watch what a quality strike that is.
Great shot.
Absolutely nothing Josh Goodwin in the goal for Hilton could do about that. Oops-a-daisy, getting in their own way in defence. Northwood.
Yeah, I think the umpire's got this one wrong. He's going to call upon his fellow umpire. I think the ball was lifted off the Hilton stick into the Northwood defender in the circle, and often the umpires, I think it must be incredibly difficult, Andy. I mean, I would never put on one of these green shirts and umpire. It's very difficult to see what's happening at the speed at which things happen here. And there we go. I think everyone's just accepted that it was Northwood's ball.
It was very noticeable, wasn't it, that Hilton just got out of the scene?
Yeah,
so
very nice to see at the schoolboy level. Some great sportsmanship, just stepping aside. You know, it would have been a real tragedy to see Northwood concede a penalty corner.
And here you go, Northwood down the right-hand side, starting to open up for them again.
It's young Tanner Capel on the ball.
Gets it inside the D. Can they get in a position to pull the trigger? Though they can't. Yes, you talk about nice to see the schoolboys reacting so positively. I remember Andre Watson, who controlled 2 Rugby World Cup finals, said to me he loved doing schoolboy rugby because when he blew the whistle, everything stopped.
Yeah, they do tend to listen to the umpires a lot more at this level. But don't get me wrong, there's still a fair bit of chirping towards the umpires.
Here you go, Hilton, down this right-hand side. That's off the foot of the defender. Advantage is played, and there's a call for a penalty corner, which does not come. And now Northwood getting it back and trying to move it down this left-hand side. The early ball in, but there's nobody there.
See, that was David Kitsoff down the right-hand side for the Hilton side. He's showing a quick pair of heels there. He's causing a lot of trouble on the go forward.
Yes, he and Chebby, I think, have been the outstanding players. And there goes the whistle. That is the end of the first half. So 2 quarters, and Hilton scoring either side of the quarter break through Matt Bray and through Josh Pratt. And the response coming from Josh Cottrell in the 27th minute for Northwood. And so at the break, it is Northwood 1, Hilton 2. And it's Matt Fairweather laying down the law, the coach of the Hilton side. And then Sean Baker is in charge of matters for Northwood. They'll be feeling a lot better at half-time, I think, Wade, with that goal having shown what they can achieve. And although it's probably fair to say that Hilton have had 70% of the game, they're only leading by a goal. Yes,
Andy, I think that last, I say, since the goal, actually, it's just the spirits of the Northwood boys have lifted. They're showing a bit more belief. And with that comes just simpler decisions. They're moving the ball really well. They're creating a lot more chances in the Hilton's final third. And yeah, if they can keep that momentum going into the third checker and possibly sneak in a goal, 2-2 could really keep things very interesting.
So Hilton have come down in force today. They're playing rugby and what else are they playing here today? Do you know?
I don't know.
I know there's a few multi-sport fixtures going on, and just to bring you up to date with what we're covering today, we've already done the under 14As. That was a cracking game of hockey and probably the right score in the end, 2-2. Now we're doing the two first 11s. Next up at 11:30 will be the under 16A game, and then the final match of the day will be the second 11s playing at 12:30. Traditionally, I suppose the first 11 would be playing last, but we're fitting in these days with television, which is fantastic. Chance for these boys who've probably only ever seen rugby on television in school sport before. Now they get a chance to see a bit of hockey as well.
Absolutely. I don't think there has been any school sport, in particular from a hockey perspective, being televised or streamed. So it's fantastic, especially for the parents who are sitting at home on their couches, having to watch their sons and daughters playing. I mean, you can even hear it's quite strange sitting around a schoolboy hockey match with no noise apart from the rugby boys
nobody
warming
hassling
up.
the ref, the umpire.
This is true, Andy. This is very true.
Yeah, well, my daughter's in matric this year, and she is competing just around the corner from Hilton College at Ulwazi Farm today. It's the first of a two-day eventing show. She's riding her horse Spanish Captain in the 95s. First event back for my daughter after a nasty fall. Which is one of the things that you have to put up with when you're a parent. You see your children out there and there's nothing you can do. Matt Fairweather looking a little flustered, trying to instill upon his boys exactly what is expected of them.
Andy, that looks like Damien. It looks like Damien Kimfley on the board there.
Aha.
Natal inland boy. I think Damien used to be involved at St. Charles College, and I think he's moved across to Hilton College. And then I saw in the corner there in the background Devon van der Merwe, Maritzburg College, old boy. I think he's also been a Hilton for a few years now, and one of the big responsible members of the growth in Hilton's hockey. They've really turned into a real powerhouse up the hill there, and they are, as you can see by just the overall general quality of hockey that they're playing and the physical condition of the Hilton boys. I've been really impressed with it. I'm pretty sure they're on a pretty strict and stringent gym program. They look conditioned, they look fast.
You know, Pat Simcox, who sent his son to Hilton, said you've got to be strong just to be at Hilton because the weather there is awful.
I actually had coffee with Russell Simcox the other day.
I commentated on Russell when he was playing for the Dolphins. Third generation first class cricketer, Russell. His father played and his grandfather played.
Russell was he a fast bowler?
Yep, all rounder. Right arm seam and left hand bat. A decent player. Probably one of those guys who who had too many other things that he was interested in.
Yeah.
You know, I know he's a big man into sea sports.
Okay, yeah, I mean, when we had a coffee the other day, he did mention he's surprised he arrived because the surf was so good, and he thought he might call in a sick note.
Jonty Rhodes said to me that if he had started surfing when he was still at school, he would never have played cricket. And that's all he does these days. In between IPL and lucrative stuff like that, you'll find Jonty in the ocean down in the Cape. Jonty, of course, also a wonderful hockey player. Here are Hilton on the attack early. Can they get the goal? They can. That is 3-1. What a start.
Yeah, first 30 seconds of the third quarter. It's not a great start for the Northwood boys, but wow.
I think that's Dylan Pratt.
It looks like Dylan Pratt again. Fantastic finish on the backhand.
Yep, and as you say, coming in the first minute of the second half. And that's really set the Northwood boys back. Can they get back into the game? Coming down the left-hand side is Josh Cottrell. Oh, really putting the defender under pressure there with a poor pass. Adam Cheslett having to go all the way back. And that goal has rather knocked the stuffing out of Northwood early on. In the midfield is Den Backer. Now coming across to Christopher Watt.
Let's another look at the goal, Andy. That's a super finish.
Very hard to defend against a quality strike like that. Now here's Den Backer again, sending it inside, but well cut out by Northwood. Coming up from defence is Matt Rout. He's dispossessed, and now it's picked up by Mdar. Lovely skills from Mdar. Gets it into the meaningful area, and that is across the face of the goal. Oh, it looked easier to score.
Yeah, shame. I think that's one of those situations where your eyes light up, no one in the goal, and you think you can just tap it in. Shame, unfortunate miss.
Oh, it's an air shot. Oh, Matt Bray. Oh, he won't want to look at that again. I'm sure his coach will show it to him, though.
Definitely.
So that could easily have been 4-1. Instead, it remains 3-1, and Hilton still on the attack and really trying to close this game out now with the power and pace of their play. This is Mdar.
Yeah, young Mdar. Matt Fairweather mentioned to me that he's a young grade 10 boy. He's playing
And
with,
looks a good one, doesn't he?
yeah, looks very strong, very composed. He's come onto the ball a heck of a lot in these first 3 minutes.
Great skills from Den Backer there. Yeah, isn't it funny? You see it particularly at schoolboy level, but also at professional level. People who aren't particularly good in social situations, who can't string a sentence together, put a ball in front of them, and they become Shakespeare.
Yeah, it is incredible.
Northwood really under pressure. Just battling to get out of their own half at the moment. Oh, and that's going to be a green card. It's gone against Mdar, who's leaving the field now. That's the first card of the game. Over robust tackle.
Yeah, slightly over robust. Quite eager to turn over the play, and I think he just got caught up too close to him, and it looked like a bit of a stick infringement.
Nasty bouncing ball is well dealt with in the end. Can he pull the trigger?
It's another penalty corner for the Hilton boys, striking the Northwood defender on the foot at the top of the circle.
That's their third penalty corner. Scoring a goal from the second.
That's Kitsoff again. Just flipping it between two defenders there and using his burst of speed to get away from the defenders.
General meeting has been concluded. The injector will be Matt Bray, wearing number 10. Looks like the stopper will be Kitsoff. That's well blocked. Shot coming in from Dylan Pratt, looking for his hat-trick, of course.
It's a very brave first wave running from what looks like the captain, Brent van der Linde, who's still down.
Yeah, I think he took one amidships. This is Baku Baku fighting for possession. Yeah, they've stopped the game now because Brent van der Linde hasn't got back up again. You mentioned it was a brave line, and I think discretion might have been the better part of valor if I'd been out there.
Yeah, there are only a few people who run those lines.
Here it is. Oh.
See, the funny thing with hockey, Annie, is that that's just hit him above his knee. If it hits him slightly below the knee there, just top of his shin pad, it would have probably been a real water short corner. So there's such a fine line for these guys running out.
So we're going to restart with a bully, and Hilton have won the bully. Baku Baku making a good run down the left-hand side. He's still there. Little one for him to run onto, but that will be allowed to go over the baseline. Well, we've gone very quickly through the first half of this third quarter. Hilton scoring early in the first 30 seconds, and they lead by 3-1 over Northwood. This is the first 11 games. And if you're watching us on the DSTV app on channel 247, hello, welcome. I hope the weather's as good with you as it is with us. Threaded through the middle, but cut out there. Now it's picked up by Kitsoff. Now Northwood somehow have got to get away from their own half. They're starting to look a little battle scarred.
Yeah, it looks like the start of the second half looks very similar to the start of the game, Andy, where Hilton are just full throttle and Northwood seem to be on the back foot, just turning over possession too easily at the moment. And when they do have the ball, they just need to hold on to it a little bit more.
So the long corner.
This looks like
Let him go a bit too far. In the end, he's put it in the side. Oh, that's an interesting ball.
Neat little tuck.
Good defence. Excellent work there from Matt Rout. Now it's Den Bakker. He looks like the engine that keeps this team going. Now it's picked up by Jake Carstens. And Northwood winning possession. Pushed out to Josh Cottrell. Need to spend some time on the ball, Northwood. Not too many options for Cottrell. high ball doesn't find its target. Picked off by Christopher Watt. Another turnover ball in midfield. Den Backer threads it through. In fact, that was Kitsoff.
The ball seems to follow young David Kitsoff. He's been on the ball a lot in this third chaka. Hilton look like they're trying to set up an overlap on the right hand side here. Let's see if they can get the ball.
Here's Den Backer. Picked up then by Watt. There's a relentless attack coming from Hilton, and Northwood just guilty of giving the ball away. This is Umdar. Some good stout defending there. Just see the way that the Northwood defenders are being harried on the ball. They've managed to get it down the right hand side, but then Governor couldn't keep it in play.
Coach Sean Baker will be very pleased with how the Northwood defenders got the ball out of that situation there where they were being high pressed. Just small little passes down the right hand touchline. They got the ball up the field very easily, and just the final receive.
Judged to be dangerous, so Northwood will have the free hit. Now they really need to try and make something of this. Gets it to the byline, inside the D, looking for a foot. And Hilton have cleared. So ripple of applause from the side of the field. Remember, no war cries allowed in the new school sport dispensation, and no crowds allowed either. There's a little nudge, and that's going to be penalty corner number 4 going the way of Hilton.
I didn't see how that infringement took place, Andy. I don't know if you saw, if it was off the body of the Northwood player, possibly.
Yeah, I think you're right. So everybody's putting on the masks.
Coach has sent in the instruction for what he'd like to see for a variation. We haven't seen any variation from Hilton. It's been backing their flickers straight off the top, but like you do in a well-rehearsed penalty corner routine, if you have two prominent flickers, you just keep going with them and keep backing them. Let's see if they pull out a variation here.
Oh, just didn't get the power with the flick there, and that ball wasn't allowed to go outside the D either. Good job. Oh, they've still got a chance. That's cleared off the post. And well, in the end, Northwood have cleared it, but clearly that ball did not clear the D.
No, it definitely did not come out of the circle.
And that's another coach killer.
Absolutely.
Oh, Northwood have done well to clear. They're not out of the woods yet, though.
The newer Northwood first team boys with no numbers yet and shaved hair makes it very difficult to identify them.
Yes, if you're watching and you're wondering why some have got numbers and some haven't, you've got to play 15 games before you're allowed to have a number. That's nicely done. Little offload to Brent van der Linde, who has played more than 15 games. And that's a good early ball from him. There's a couple of runners on the far post. Baku was one of them. Just, I think, went over the top of his stick.
Yeah, and those are those small moments we speak about, Andy, that could just change the game. A 3-1 looks quite comfortable to Hilton, but 3-2, all of a sudden, Northwood boys would have had their tails up, and it would have been a very, very interesting final quarter.
Well, I'm going to say, in the last 30 seconds of the quarter, to have scored a goal then would have been huge. Here it is. Oh yeah, it's gone over his stick.
Three Northwood guys, I think they could have jumped on their knees, got a couple scratches and tipped that one in.
So Hilton perhaps with the last chance in this quarter. It has gone wide. Should reiterate that our clock is not necessarily in sync with the umpire's timekeeping, but I can confirm we're playing 4 quarters of 15 minutes each.
Yeah, I think the time discrepancy is coming in with the umpires stopping their time at penalty corners. I think there's a 30-second or 40-second allocation that the players are given for a short corner.
And there it is. That is the end of the third quarter. So just the 1 goal scored during the quarter. That was by Dylan Pratt, and it was in the very first minute of the third quarter. It was 2-1 at half-time. Pratt has got 2 for Hilton, and Matt Bray got the other one, the first coming in the 14th minute. And a lone goal for Northwood coming from Josh Cottrell in the 27th minute. Lovely strike from him down the right-hand side. So a 2-minute break at the end of this quarter.
And it's going to be a long 15 minutes, I think, Andy. The temperature seems to be rising,
climbing rapidly, isn't it? Yes.
And the Northwood boys are really going to have to fight hard in this final quarter to get something out of this game. And I think the Hilton guys, I'd like to see what their approach is going to be to this final quarter. Whether they're going to sit back, be comfortable, defend nice and tightly, or if their coaching staff are going to ask them to try and get one more in there, 4-1, and then I think it'll be a very big task for the Northwood first side to come back.
Yep. On the other hand, if Northwood can get an early goal in the final quarter, then the hunter becomes the hunted.
Correct. Sean Baker on his knees there. I think he's obviously identified something that he's noticed with the Hiltons, possibly their defensive press, and he's giving his troops a bit of information to maybe help them out or to show them something that they could try in order to get an opportunity back in this game. I saw Calvin Watt here. I wonder if this young Christopher Watt is his son.
Ah, yes. Well, let's ask him. Go and ask Kelvin. Is that his son playing?
Yes, it is.
Ah, right. Okay. So many of you out there will know Kelvin Watt, who's heavily involved with organised sport in South Africa. So young Christopher Watt, operating at number 4 for Hilton, and having a pretty good game, I have to say. The outstanding players for Hilton have been certainly number 8, David Kitsoff, and number 7, David Chebby. And a couple of goals from Dylan Pratt, who looks very handy inside the D. So we're ready to start the final quarter, and it is Northwood playing from right to left on your screens in the white strip with the blue trim. Hilton in the all black with the white trim. 3-1 to the visitors from Hilton. And what Northwood really need is an early goal. Can they make something happen here? That's going over the baseline. Brent van der Linde with the run, but couldn't keep it in play.
Hilton were outletting with a back three, and it looks like they've changed to a back four, which does show you a little bit of slightly more defensive approach to the way they're going to outlet.
Ooh, dispossession on the edge of the D. Suddenly there's an opportunity. Taken quickly. Oh dear. Umpire says it's taken from the wrong place. So they've got to run 5 meters before getting that ball inside the D. Swept away. Federlinde for Northwood, he's their captain. He forces the long corner. Gets it back. Oh, very nearly in from Govender. He found himself virtually unattended there, just couldn't get a stick on the end of the pass.
Maybe a slightly different body position from the Northwood attacker. I'm not sure who that was on that right-hand post there. Just a slightly lower body position.
Oh, very nearly cut out. You mentioned Hilton adopting a more defensive position, and it seems to have changed their entire mindset.
Yeah, and you can see the Northwood boys are pressing quite high. You can see by the Northwood centre forwards attitude, body language there in his press. He was really rushing the Hilton defence, trying to force an error.
Here's Govender. Oh, he just couldn't control that. Still chances for Northwood. No, turnover ball.
Northwood are high pressing, and he's trying to force a turnover.
Hilton in midfield looking for the quick ball through, easily picked off. But now the ball is picked up by van der Linde. Van der Linde's got opportunities here. Yes, he's got the foot. Penalty corner has been awarded. That'll be the second for Northwood, and let's see whether they can convert from here and give us a really exciting last 10 minutes.
They really need to make this one count, just to give them a bit of momentum into these last 12 minutes.
You said early on, Wade, that Brent van der Linde needs to spend more time on the ball, and clearly he's doing so in this final quarter. Here he is, he'll be the injector. Govender is the stopper. It's a good clean stop. Great save. That was going under the bar, I think. Oh, it's done really well to keep that ball in play. Keeper has been drawn and the goal is scored. Number 12 is Mitchell Jagger, and this game is alive again.
Yeah, that's great fight by the Northwood boys, who were up in the D after that corner. Kept their sticks low, good body position, turned over the Hilton defender and found an opportunity back into this game.
So 3-2, and there is that goal again. Mitchell Jagger knew straight away.
So Hilton back to outletting with 3 again. So now it looks like they've changed up. They seem to be going from 4 to 3 quite a lot.
10 minutes left in the contest. Can Northwood draw level? The under 14 A's finished at 2-2 in our opening game, and we've got 2 more matches for you from this venue this morning. Coming up next will be the under 16 A's, and we'll finish with the second teams. And Northwood turning the ball over in the danger area again. Well done by Den Bakker. He comes away, takes it over the halfway line. Early ball to Shebby. Great ball from Shebby. Keeper has come. And it's
our man again.
It's gone in. Is that the hat-trick?
I think that is Pratt again, Andy.
Was it the number 10 or the number 12?
Dylan Pratt.
Dylan Pratt is being congratulated. So the reverse stick goal from Dylan Pratt gives him a hat-trick, and straight away Hilton have put one in after looking a little bit at 6s and 7s, and they lead by 4-2.
That's quite a scary stat in hockey, Andy, is that how often a team scores and within 5 minutes they concede again. More often than not is the case.
So easy to just lose concentration, still celebrating the goal. Now here's Watt sending it in. Straight through the middle. Shebby is dispossessed. Good strong run out there from Adam Cheslett.
Great
That's very well done by van der Linde. He can't keep it in play though. Christopher Watt on the ball for Hilton. Now let's have a look at that goal again. Ball comes threading in, and Pratt with the reverse stick. That's a beautiful finish.
Yeah, just a one-touch receive into the space where he needs it, and a fantastic finish.
So long corner for Hilton. Now they come pouring forward. Den Bakker on the ball. Still. Long corner again. It is really heating up here at Northwood now. And the boys of the under-16As are going to start their game when this one finishes, are really going to feel it.
Hope they have their water bottles filled, Andy.
Yeah. So this is Cottrell on the ball for Northwood. Govender out there on the right-hand side of defence. There was a foot. Hilton with the turnover. Good ball in. And there's the shot, and there's the goal. And that has cleared up any misconceptions about where this game was going, because the goal is scored by Jared Pike, and it is 5-2.
Yeah, it's a great finish by Jared Pike.
Let's have a look at it again.
Found himself in some good space.
It almost seems as if giving up that second goal changed the entire philosophy of Hilton. They suddenly said, no, we're a much better side. Let's just go and put this game to bed, and that's what they've done. But chances now for Northwood through their captain. Early ball in, and Govender can't get on the end of it.
There are a lot of tired bodies out there, Andy. The intensity is not quite how it was at the start of the game. But these boys are really well conditioned. I know they go through some really good conditioning programs at the school, and
just showing that fifth goal again. Yeah, so I don't think there's any question that the better side is going to win this game, but Northwood certainly have some decent players, and they will come again. The important thing in these days of COVID is that there's a game at all.
Yeah, I think the boys will be really chuffed to just be out playing again. I think obviously matrics from last year missed an entire season, which I know when I was at school, you're always looking forward to your matric year. It's kind of your final year at school. You're playing with some of your best friends, and yeah, they'll just be happy to be out here again.
David Chebby working his way down the left-hand side there. Yes, I can think of a lot of the Afrikaans schools that put so much emphasis on the matric year rugby teams. For them to miss an entire year is an enormous thing. Here's Chebby again.
Yeah, and if that play before was in the first two chuckers, I think Hilton would have gone forward. But you can see they've rolled the ball back. They're happy to be in possession of the ball at 5-2 up. And the deeper they draw the Northwood attackers out, the more tiring these last couple of minutes will be for the Northwood boys.
Yep, so we've got just over 3 minutes remaining in the match. Hilton scoring 2 goals in this final chukker, and that in response to Northwood scoring in the 50th minute and bringing the game back to 3-2. Hilton then decided to make sure that they put this game to bed, so they lead by 5-2, and it is Hilton pressing for a 6th. Good run across the baseline. Oh, air shot. Understandable, that ball was bouncing horribly across the D. See how hard Northwood are having to fight just to get out of their own quarter.
Yeah, I think with those last 2 goals from Hilton, they've decided to high press the Northwood boys and just put them under even more pressure, making it extremely difficult to get any sort of outletting.
Brent van der Linde has clearly been the best of the Northwood players, and he is popping up all over the place. Here's Christopher Watt. Denbacker, that's a rare error from him, and look how much he felt that error.
Yeah,
chasing the ball.
With 2.5 minutes to go, often you can just accept the error, but he still fought hard to keep it in.
Governor can't get on the end of that pass. Governor's done a lot of running for Northwood and had one great opportunity to score, just couldn't get a stick on the ball. Watt with the long ball, well cut out by Josh Cottrell.
Some tired hockey starting to creep in, Andy.
Well, understandable. We're in the last minute and it is hot out there.
It must be close to 26, 27 degrees.
Yeah, maybe even more. It's a good job there's just a little bit of a breeze.
Hilton showing some good patience here. They're happy to have the ball, basically saying to Northwood, if you want the ball, you need to come and get it. And they're governed on the ball. Good composure by Watt.
And that ball has come to Denbacker. Sends it through, looking for a little deflection. And there goes the whistle to end the contest. So, good game of hockey. Hilton looking a quality side. Northwood a little bit overpowered, but plenty of talent on display from the home side as well. They scored 2 goals of their own through Josh Cottrell and Mitchell Jagger. But the man who did the real damage, a hat-trick from Dylan Pratt for Hilton wearing the number 12 jersey, and goals also from Matt Bray, and the final one from Jared Pike. So there's the final score. Northwood firsts 2, Hilton firsts 5. My thanks to Wade Payton for telling me what's going on.
My pleasure, Andy. Thanks. It's great to see schoolboy hockey on the just being played again, and even better that it's being able to be streamed. But congratulations to the Hilton side. Yeah, like you said, definitely a team to follow this season. They look a really organised outfit, and yeah, obviously to the Northwood boys, just very chuffed to be back out there. They'll be worked really hard this week by Coach Sean Baker, because I'm almost certain he knows he can get more out of them. But yeah, it's great to be seeing some schoolboy hockey again.
So the first team's leaving the field. The under-16As are coming onto the field. We'll have a brief break, and then we'll be back with that under-16 game. Don't go.